Audio Jungle.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Mexico News Network's Breaking News. I am your host, Elisa Carballo, and we have excellent information for you coming right ahead. But before we start, remember we're broadcasting from the El Dorado Royal Spa Resort by Charisma. Now remember, Mexico News Network is your #1 source for positive and relevant information about Mexico. So log on to our website on www.mexiconewsnetwork.com for more information and browse through our social networks on Facebook, Twitter, as well as Google+. Now let's start with today's main headline stories. As a way to ease the entry of frequent visitors to Mexico, the United States and Canada, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Public Safety Canada, as well as Mexico's Ministry of the Interior have all announced the expansion of the existing Trusted Traveler programs, heading toward the creation of a North American Trusted Traveler network. All of this extended program will benefit those who constantly travel between these countries and want to avoid wasting time during immigration and custom processes, particularly those who are already part of either of the Trusted Traveler programs between Mexico and the U.S. and Canada, as well as the U.S. This agreement, signed by DHS Secretary Jay Johnson and his Mexican and Canadian counterparts, states that for Mexican nationals, the members of Mexico's Viajero Confiable program will be able to apply for the U.S.-Canada Nexus Trusted Traveler program. Now for Canadian citizens, the members of Nexus will be able to apply for Viajero Confiable. In the case of U.S. citizens, they are already eligible for both programs thanks to the partnerships between the U.S. and Canada and U.S. as well as Mexico. All of these programs require that travelers meet certain criteria and undergo processes to be approved for the entire program. That being said, most of these requirements are quite simple and are only required to be met once. After that, the Trusted Traveler will save more time when visiting any of these countries. The expansion of these programs will bring important benefits into mobility and efficiency to those frequent visitors who travel for work, conferences, or similar purposes. In more information, Mexico's flag carrier airline Aeromexico declared an official ban on animal body parts considered to be hunting trophies on all of its planes. With the goal of discouraging animal hunting, they forbid the transferring of hunting trophies on their flight routes, read a tweet on Aeromexico's Twitter account in early August. The statement was underscored by an image of 2 lion cubs, one with its front legs seeming to be wrapped around the other's shoulder. A caption read in Spanish, "We want to see them grow." The decision followed similar statements issued by airlines in the United States, declaring a ban on transporting body parts of iconic African wildlife, also issued in early August. Now, among those chiming in is Delta Airlines, Aeromexico's partner in the SkyTeam Airline Alliance. Now, Delta's ban includes lions, leopard, elephant, rhino, buffalo body parts. Even though not directly referenced, the statements made in the wake of the apparently illegal killing of a 13-year-old male Southwest African lion, known locally as Cecil. All of this in Zimbabwe's Hwange National Park. Cecil's death set off a flurry of outrage by social networks users who were absolutely shocked by pictures of American dentist Walter Palmer, the man who was credited with the wounded and killing this large cat, posing with the lion's dead body. Fuel to the fire was added as reports surfaced on the lion having had his skin and head removed and used as trophies. Shortly afterward, news broke out. Palmer issued a statement saying that he was not aware that his guides had illegally lured Cecil out of the wildlife sanctuary he inhabited. However, Zimbabwean authorities claim that neither Palmer nor his guides had the appropriate permits and are currently seeking the dentist's extradition for poaching. Collectively, both Delta as well as Aeromexico have 5,000 flights on their routes per day. And in more news, indigenous Mexicans have learned to live off of agriculture without affecting the natural environment or the same land that feeds them. By using ancient methods, they have managed to cultivate their land and therefore get the food they need to survive. Leah Penniman, a high school educator and food activist, wrote an article for Yes Magazine in which she talks about methods used by indigenous people in Mexico. Methods she refers to as the agriculture of the future. Ms. Penniman spoke with Josefino Martinez, an indigenous farmer from the village of Chicahuatztla in the state of Oaxaca. She relates learning of how, despite the poor conditions of the soil in the middle of a drought and the farm's location on a slope so steep that it was practically impossible for tractors or animals to work in, Martinez's warehouse was actually filled with corn, beans, dried chilies, squash seeds, and fresh fruit he had grown on his own land. When Ms. Penniman asked the man how he managed to obtain these results, he explained that he only farmed in the way of his ancestors did, the indigenous Triqui people. Perhaps some of the ways in which the Triqui cultivated might seem irrelevant today. However, the author actually thinks it might even be part of the solution to the food crisis the world is going through today. Overall, we all need to cultivate devotion to the planet, the importance of cultivating coexistence between humans as well as nature. We must care for the earth, for it is our home and our power supply. Without this, we have nothing, and slowly we are consuming her entirely. And even though perhaps some things cannot be reversed, they can definitely be halted to create a better future. In more information, a group of university students created an affordable tablet-like device that is actually capable of translating digital text into Braille, providing the opportunity for visually impaired people to continue their education. This impairment is a major obstacle for those seeking to pursue a degree in Mexico. This brilliant idea was in fact originally conceived by Joaquin Casanova, who used to teach in his hometown Ciudad del Carmen in the state of Campeche to a blind young woman who wanted to continue her education but was denied the entry due to the lack of technical conditions and material in Braille. After that experience, Casanova decided to enter the Center for Technology and Innovation in Mexico City, where he proposed this initiative. In only 6 months, he and the rest of the team members, Abelardo Bautista, Itzael Jimenez, Alan Garcia, Diana Mesa, Andrea Miranda, and Rolando Chavez, all developed the project and are very close to completing it. The project is called MyDot and is designed as a simple-to-use device. The team explains that it will be similar to a tablet, only with 4 rows of pegs that will move up and down to create the Braille text. The entire device would receive the data from an inserted SD memory card with the PDF files previously uploaded. Afterward, it would literally translate the text selected, allowing the user to read it all in Braille. The tablet-like device would also have some other buttons for the functions for forward and rewind as well as home. On the side, it would have 4 buttons to review the index as well as another button for the battery level and a slot for the SD memory. Now, this entire project may have a great positive impact for the visually impaired, as stated by Casanova. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more information on Mexico and the world after these few messages.
Audio Jungle.